Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad there's more than 7 Republicans in Montgomery County. Greetings from your fellow conservatives in Frederick County. It's so great to be here, and I'm so honored to have been invited. I'm a little bit overdressed for a picnic. I got a call, actually a text, morning before yesterday that I was invited to go to a wedding this morning for a senator, a Democrat senator's aide, who has taken me on as her mentor. Now, some of you may freak out that I am befriending liberals, but I'll tell you right now, we have got to reach out to those young liberals who have been brainwashed by a lot of those papers, the Washington Post, one of them, and start reaching out to those people and make sure that they understand that there's another way of thinking. There's a whole nother thought process. So that's where I was this morning. I was the witness at her wedding, and it was a beautiful affair, and I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that she married a man. So there is some hope for the Democrat Party. Other than that, they may be reproducing, which we want Republicans to reproduce, right? Of course. So anyway, thank you again for having me here. I am, as mentioned, I'm a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. I'm the ranking member. I'm also an appointed member to the committee that oversees children's matters for the state. And some of you might know that this past year was a great year in a bipartisan way, not only because we elected a wonderful Republican governor, which we're all still floating on air about that, but also because for your strong conservatives in Annapolis, number one, we gained 8 new conservatives in Annapolis. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but that added 1 person to each committee. And boy, did that make a huge difference when we were trying to stop some really nasty things from getting passed. But also by having a Republican governor, it meant that we had some wind at our back. And instead of the tornado that was the O'Malley administration coming at us, don't you love him? Isn't he the gift that keeps giving? We don't value white lives, only black lives. I mean, isn't that what, didn't he backtrack? He said, we value white lives. Oh, no, never mind. We really don't value white lives. Yes, we do. We value every life, including the unborn. And that is part of what I believe in, and I know many of you do as well. So there's so much, thank you. There's so much happening in Annapolis. There's so much happening that is good. And this is a really great time to be a Republican. And the reason it's a great time to be a Republican is because we have had so much coming at us. And I think the general public is starting to go, whoa, this is a little more than I intended. My daughter said to me, my daughter goes to University of Maryland, College Park. And she said to me last night when she came home, she just finished her summer internship. She's a STEM major, a science major, and she's doing bioinformatics. Man, she did not get the science from me, I promise. But anyway, she said that they have changed the bathrooms at the school, and there are not male and female now. They are unisex bathrooms. So she came out of the stall, and there was a man standing there in the ladies' room. And she said it was fairly unnerving, and I said, I understand, honey, and I'm hoping that starts to make people mad. And it makes us mad because, not because we hate people, we love people, but we know that there are limits and there are standards that we need to stand by, and we're willing to speak up for those things. And Donald Trump, God bless him, we don't always agree with everything he says, but God bless him for saying it. And he's a little bit of a loose cannon, admittedly, but he sure is striking a chord, and there are people who are standing up and listening. So whether you like him or not, I know he's a piece of work, but listen, 15 amazingly strong Republicans have stepped forward to run for president, and any one of them is better than Hillary. Do you agree with that? So we have an exciting race here in Maryland's District 6. We have some candidates here who want to address you. I want you each to embrace them. If they could raise their hands, there's Terry Baker is here today. He's running for the congressional seat against Delaney. We have Delegate David Vogt, my seatmate. He is running for Congress as well. And we also have a fellow I don't know as well, but Frank Howard is here as well. Are there any other Congressional District 6 candidates here? So they all have something to say to you today. We embrace them. They are willing to put their names, their families on the line, and we as Republicans need to support them in any way that we can. I will tell you that we've had some challenges in Frederick County with Republicans fighting amongst themselves and Republicans speaking ill of fellow Republicans. What is Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment? Do we know that? Does anyone know that? Can anyone raise their hand? This is class. I'm on the Education Committee. Raise your hand and tell me if you know what Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment. Do not speak ill of your fellow Republicans. There are going to be heated and contentious races. We had heated and contentious races in Frederick County, and we lost a seat because Republicans were so harmful and nasty to each other that we lost a seat in Frederick City. And we could have had 9 new Republicans. We could have had one more seat in Annapolis, and we didn't because of Republicans. So we are not Democrats. We do not think in lockstep. We are independent thinkers, and that's the good thing about us. But one thing what they do that we don't do, that we need to start, and that is they do not attack their fellow Democrats in public. Now, they'll go at it privately, and let me see, I've been witness to some of it down in Annapolis. But when they come out of that back room, they may be sweaty and they look stressed out, but they have resolved it behind the door, and when they come out of that room, they've got a smile on their face, and they are united, and that's what we need to do. When we get through a primary, we are going to have a congressional candidate, and we are going to rally behind that congressional candidate and throw every bit of support that we can behind them. So anyway, there is a lot of good happening in the state. It is a great time to be Republican. Please grow your numbers. Get your friends to get involved. We need to turn out big numbers. There is a big presidential race coming, as you know. And again, I love every single one of them. There's just so much good that each one of them has to offer. I know we all have our favorites, as do I. But I will share with you a little story before I break, and then we can start introducing some of the congressional candidates. The story I'd like to share with you is about how my heart, and I know many people here feel about our country, and how our heart is so patriotic and so true to the red, white, and blue. And I used to tell people that I am the daughter of, my dad is the first generation Italian, and my mom is the great-granddaughter of pioneers that settled the West. But I just found out there's more to the story. And about 2 months ago, my mother called me and she said, you know, I know a lot about my mother's family, meaning her mother family, but I don't know anything about my father's family. My grandfather had left home at 13. He had to go to work on the railroad, and the long and short of it is he left his family. My mother didn't know anything about his family. So I said, Mom, no problem. I have a computer. I'm going to start researching. And I started researching. I'm from the West Coast. I'm from California originally. I moved to Middletown about 12 years ago. I moved to Frederick County about 20 years ago. And by the end of the first day, I found out that my fourth great-grandparents and their offspring were from none other than Middletown, Maryland, the place that I lived. So then I kept searching, and I kept searching, and pretty soon I found out that my bloodline founded this country. My eighth great-grandfather was on the second boat, the Fortune. They came right after the Mayflower. My ancestors founded Salem, founded Massachusetts, and fought in the Revolutionary War. I am now joining the DAR, and I have 5 patriots that fought in the war. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because I want to share that the patriotism isn't just my heart anymore, it's my DNA. So I'm willing to fight that fight with you. They got on boats somewhere in your family line. Somebody got on a boat, crossed a very big ocean to give you this freedom, this park, this love of country, the blessings that we have as American citizens. And I, for one, am willing to fight for it, and I know everyone that can hear my voice today is willing to fight for it too. So God bless all of you. And there's some candidates here that have put their families and their hearts and their lives out there for you to scrutinize and to decide who you would like to be your candidate. And I want you to fight for them as well. God bless each of you. Thank you for having me. And I'm just as happy as I can be that we are growing and we're stronger and we're going to be even stronger. God bless you. Thank you.